There are structures on this planet so massive, so ambitious, that they almost stop feeling real. Projects so extreme they seem to defy physics, logic, even common sense, but they exist. Some are rising out of deserts, others are buried deep beneath the earth, and some are operating right now only a few feet away from where people walk every single day. This isn't just a list of giant buildings. It's proof that humanity no longer builds for survival. We build to dominate, to reshape landscapes, to challenge nature itself. Today, you're about to see 10 megastructures so insane. They look like something pulled straight out of science fiction. From floating cities, to trains that never touch the ground, to machines so large they can erase entire mountains from the map. These are not concepts, they are real. So if you're fascinated by impossible engineering, subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay until the end. Because some of these structures don't just look futuristic, they make the future feel terrifying. Tier 1. Jeddah Tower, the skyscraper built to break physics. Imagine standing at street level, looking up, and realizing your brain can't fully process what it's seeing. A vertical wall of steel and concrete rising nearly 3,300 feet into the sky, so tall the top disappears into haze and clouds. The Jeddah Tower was designed to become the first building in human history to cross the vertical 0.6-mile mark, forcing engineers to fight invisible forces just to keep it standing. At that altitude, wind becomes violent, not ordinary wind. Aerodynamic chaos capable of making an entire skyscraper sway uncontrollably. To survive those forces, engineers designed the tower with a constantly shifting pedal shape meant to confuse the airflow itself. The tower doesn't resist the wind, it disrupts it. And then came the concrete. Getting liquid concrete hundreds of feet into the air before it hardened required entirely new high-pressure pumping systems, powerful enough to push massive volumes vertically through extreme heat. Deep underground, gigantic foundation piles anchor the structure into the earth to support millions of tons pressing downward with unimaginable force. Inside, elevators travel at incredible speeds because at this scale, going upstairs becomes a journey. And at the very top, something strange happens. Because of the Earth's curvature and the tower's height, it becomes possible to watch the sunset twice in the same day. But despite all this ambition, the tower remains unfinished after years of delays and financial uncertainty. Today, it stands in the desert like a sleeping giant, half realized, half myth. A monument to humanity's obsession with conquering the sky. Tier 2. Millau Viaduct. The bridge suspended above the void. Some bridges cross rivers, others cross entire valleys, but the Millau Viaduct feels like it was built to cross the sky itself. In southern France, this enormous bridge stretches across the Tarn Valley like a thin line floating above the clouds. From below, the pillars seem endless. From above, the ground almost disappears. At its highest point, the structure rises taller than the Eiffel Tower, creating the disturbing sensation that something this massive should not be able to stand. The valley beneath opens like a giant wound in the earth. Fog swallows the landscape, and during construction, engineers often worked surrounded by clouds with drops of more than 1,000 feet beneath them. But the most impressive part isn't the height, it's the movement. The bridge was never designed to completely resist the wind because that would have been impossible. Instead, it was designed to move with it. Hidden systems constantly monitor tension and structural stress in real time while the bridge flexes against powerful gusts crossing the valley. And the way it was built feels just as unreal. Massive sections of the roadway were slowly pushed outward from both sides of the valley, inch by inch, until the two gigantic steel platforms finally met at the center above open air. Today, thousands of cars cross the viaduct every day, but driving across it doesn't feel normal. You barely see the supports, you barely see the valley. It feels like floating through the sky and somewhere deep in your brain. You know humans were never supposed to build something like this. Tier 3. Palm Jumeirah, the island built against nature. What happens when a country runs out of coastline but refuses to stop expanding? In Dubai, the answer was simple: build new land. Palm Jumeirah is a gigantic artificial palm tree constructed directly on top of the Persian Gulf. From space, it almost looks digital, too symmetrical, too precise, like something rendered inside a computer. But it's real. Where there was once only open water, there are now luxury hotels, highways, villas, and skyscrapers sitting on what used to be the seafloor. To create it, engineers dredged billions of cubic feet of sand from the bottom of the Gulf and placed it with astonishing precision using satellite-guided positioning systems. Even small placement errors could have distorted the entire island. But creating the land was only the beginning, because sand is unstable and the ocean never stops moving. So engineers surrounded the island with a gigantic crescent-shaped breakwater made from millions of tons of rock, a defensive wall stretching for miles against the constant pressure of waves, currents, and saltwater corrosion. Palm Jumeirah isn't resting naturally on the ocean floor. It's forcing the seabed to support a load it was never meant to carry. And maybe that's the strangest part. Here, land itself became a manufactured product, not discovered, not inherited, constructed. Palm Jumeirah is more than an island. It's proof that with enough money and engineering power, humanity no longer adapts to the planet. The planet adapts to us. Tier 4, Tesla Gigafactory, the machine that builds machines. From the air, Tesla's Gigafactory in Texas doesn't look like a factory. It looks like an industrial continent. An endless rectangle of steel, glass, and concrete stretching across the landscape with almost no visible human presence, just scale. The building is so massive that engineers reportedly had to account for the curvature of the Earth during construction. That's how large this structure really is. Inside, the experience becomes even stranger. The horizon barely changes. Hallways feel endless. Entire production lines disappear into the distance. It doesn't feel like a workplace. It feels like a closed mechanical ecosystem. Thousands of robotic arms move in synchronized motion every second, welding, lifting, assembling, repeating. The machines never seem to rest. Neither does the sound. A constant low-frequency vibration humming through the floors and walls like the heartbeat of some gigantic artificial organism. The Gigafactory wasn't designed for today. It was designed for scale. Every year the system expands, optimizes, and absorbs more production. Humans still work inside the building, but increasingly they feel less like operators and more like supervisors watching automation evolve around them. This is not just a car factory. It's a prototype for a future where machines build machines and industrial cities operate with minimal human intervention. And maybe that's the uncomfortable question hidden inside all this steel. If structures like this become the norm, what role is left for us? Tier 5, Japan's Maglev, the train that floats above the Earth. If you blink, you miss it. No screeching metal, no violent shaking, no wheel noise, because this train never actually touches the tracks. Japan's Maglev floats. Using powerful magnetic fields, the train levitates above the guideway and accelerates to speeds exceeding 370 miles per hour. At full speed, it feels less like transportation and more like a projectile slicing through the landscape, faster than most people can mentally process. But building it required something extraordinary. More than 80% of the route runs underground through deep seismic terrain. Not for comfort, out of necessity. Gigantic tunnels were carved directly through unstable mountains under immense pressure, some stretching for miles without ever seeing daylight. Even the stations feel unnatural. Instead of rising above the ground like airports, they descend underground like fortified bunkers built to contain the force of a train arriving at near aircraft speeds. And then there's the air pressure. At over 370 miles per hour, the train doesn't just move through air, it slams into it. A wall of compressed pressure forms in front of the vehicle, which is why the tunnels had to be designed almost like giant lungs capable of releasing shockwaves before they become destructive. When the train passes beside you, it barely sounds real, just a violent rush of air, a deep metallic roar, then silence, gone in seconds. A transportation system engineered to dominate friction, geology, and time itself. Tier 6, IceCube, the invisible structure buried inside Antarctica. On the surface, there's almost nothing to see. Just Antarctica, an endless white desert of ice, wind, and silence. But buried deep beneath that frozen landscape lies one of the strangest megastructures ever created, IceCube. a scientific machine so large it uses an entire cubic mile of ice as part of its structure, and almost nobody on Earth will ever see it. IceCube was never designed to rise into the sky. It was designed to disappear underground forever. More than a mile beneath the surface, over 5,000 optical sensors remain permanently frozen inside ancient Antarctic ice. They are not searching for ordinary light. They are searching for neutrinos, tiny subatomic particles capable of passing directly through entire planets as if nothing were there. To install the sensors, engineers drilled deep vertical shafts through the glacier using superheated water under brutal polar conditions. Then came the race against time. Once the drilling stopped, the ice immediately began freezing shut again. The sensors had to be lowered thousands of feet underground before the glacier sealed them permanently inside. No maintenance, no retrieval, no repair. And when a neutrino finally collides with an atom inside the ice, a tiny flash of blue light reveals information from exploding stars and distant black holes billions of light years away. IceCube is fascinating because it hides its scale, an enormous, invisible machine buried beneath a frozen continent, silently observing the universe. Tier 7. Danyang Kunshan. The bridge that never ends. Most bridges connect two places. This one feels like it crosses an entire world. The Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge stretches for more than 100 miles across eastern China, so long that no human being can fully see it from a single point. From the air, it looks less like infrastructure and more like a line drawn across the earth, a concrete horizon that refuses to end. More than 10,000 support columns hold the structure above lakes, wetlands, farmland, and unstable terrain. And that terrain matters because much of the ground below is soft, waterlogged, and constantly shifting. Instead of relying on rigid supports, engineers created systems capable of absorbing subtle movement across enormous distances. Each pillar acts almost like part of a gigantic, flexible spine. The scale of construction became surreal as thousands of workers assembled repetitive segments simultaneously across vast distances. And when you travel across the bridge, something strange happens psychologically. Your sense of distance begins to break. There's no dramatic beginning, no visible end, just repetition, motion, and horizon. The bridge keeps going and going until it no longer feels like infrastructure at all. It feels like the world itself was redesigned into a straight line, a megastructure so large it turns an entire province into background scenery. Tier 8. Bagger 293, the machine that eats landscapes. The Bagger 293 does not look like a normal machine. It looks like something humanity was never supposed to build. Standing over 300 feet tall and stretching more than 700 feet in length, this giant excavator is larger than many office buildings. And yet, it moves slowly, relentlessly, like an industrial creature crawling across the earth. The machine weighs roughly 14,000 tons, so heavy its movement feels almost impossible. But once it starts advancing, almost nothing can stop it. At the center sits its enormous bucket wheel, a rotating wall of steel equipped with giant scoops capable of tearing through the ground continuously. The Bagger 293 doesn't dig, it consumes. Every single day, the machine can remove more than 200,000 tons of earth. Entire hills disappear beneath it, while landscapes are erased piece by piece. And the strangest part is how calm it all feels. No explosive violence, no dramatic collapse, just slow, unstoppable destruction. The machine feeds through gigantic electrical cables carrying enough power to support a small city, making it feel less like a vehicle and more like a living industrial organism. Watching it work creates a strange discomfort because the Bagger 293 represents a terrifying reality. Humanity has reached the point where we can erase geography itself with mechanical patience and industrial scale. Tier 9. The Line. The city designed like a wall. For thousands of years, cities expanded outward. The Line does the opposite. Instead of spreading across the landscape, this futuristic megacity was designed as a gigantic linear structure cutting directly through the Saudi desert. A mirrored wall stretching for over 100 miles. From the sky, it looks unreal. Two massive reflective surfaces running perfectly straight across empty terrain like a scar carved into the earth. Inside, millions of people are supposed to live stacked within a narrow corridor of vertical infrastructure, not neighborhoods, not suburbs, a continuous city. But today, the project exists in uncertainty. Construction challenges, redesigns, financial pressure, and logistical complexity have forced major changes to the original vision. And maybe that's because the scale itself feels almost unmanageable. The line was designed around maximum efficiency, where lighting, ventilation, transportation, energy, and data are constantly monitored and optimized. But that optimization creates something psychologically strange. The walls rise like giant cliffs of mirrored glass, while the sky becomes only a narrow strip overhead. The city begins to feel less open and more enclosed, almost artificial. Some people see the line as the future of sustainable urban living. Others see it as a dystopian experiment disguised as innovation, a place where technology doesn't simply support human life, it organizes it, controls it, and shapes it. And maybe that's the real question hidden behind the mirrors. When an entire city becomes one giant structure, how much freedom actually survives inside it? Tier 10. Oceanix Busan, the city that floats above the sea. For centuries, humanity built cities away from the ocean. Now, rising sea levels are beginning to remove that choice. Coastlines are shrinking, storms are intensifying, and millions of people live only a few feet above the water. Oceanix Busan was designed as a response to that future, not a fantasy, not a luxury experiment, a survival strategy. Off the coast of South Korea, this floating city concept proposes something radical, a city that doesn't stand on land at all. Instead of resisting the ocean, it moves with it. The structure is built from interconnected floating platforms capable of rising and falling with tides and waves. No deep foundations, no fixed ground beneath the city, only water. Each modular section is designed to function almost like an independent organism capable of generating energy, filtering seawater into drinking water, and growing food locally. But beneath the platforms, the environment becomes unsettling. Dark water, powerful currents, constant pressure, relentless salt corrosion. To survive, engineers proposed using biorock, a material that actually strengthens through interaction with seawater over time. Instead of decaying, parts of the city could become stronger as they remain submerged. Oceanix Busan represents a future where survival no longer depends on controlling the planet, but learning how to move with it. No roots, no bedrock, no permanence, just flotation above an ocean humanity may never truly conquer. These megastructures force us to confront an uncomfortable question. Are we building the future of civilization, or are we building monuments to our own obsession with control? Some of these projects represent extraordinary engineering. Others feel almost dystopian, but all of them reveal the same thing. Humanity is no longer satisfied with simply living on this planet. We want to redesign it. So which of these megastructures impressed you the most? And which one feels the most terrifying? Let us know in the comments. And if you love extreme engineering, futuristic cities, and impossible construction, subscribe, leave a like, and get ready for the next chapter of colossal scale.